stage. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. I don't know what to say, but I'm going to try to say it the best. I must say I'm incredibly honored to have all your support and all the things that I heard were said. You know, tonight we made history. We already made history. And I'm so honored to be recognized, to be part of this, well, to be part of this historical moment, I guess. But, you know, if you look at that chart, that was all across Vermont. Yeah. You know, that was every small town in Vermont. Everywhere we went, people are really, they're really answering to that hope, that message of we are all great. And I think that's what people, deep down we know we can solve these big problems. So. I am so proud to be the face of the Democrats tonight. And it may not be the best face, but it's a face. So, and you know, and the message we have of, you know, of a living wage and Medicare for all. And an education system that we designed by our communities, not designed it out of Montpelier. You know, these are not, you know, when I got into this campaign, I was kind of confused because I'm like, why is this a progressive message? This is called being a civil society. You know, and the other thing too is, Vermont is such a beautiful state, and we're going to preserve that beauty and enhance that beauty for our children and our children's children. Yeah. And what I've been telling the reporters that from all parts of the country here, the world, I guess, you know, I keep bragging about Vermont because I say, you know what I say to everybody here? I say, you know, the beauty of our people matches the beauty of our business. So, you know, we are part of a movement right now. I was in Stowe today, and the sign was "The Blue Wave starts here." And this is a national movement, and we're part of that movement. And you know, in the physics world, we have this saying. Some of you in physics probably heard this. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. And this is a reaction to 2016. You know, our children's children are going to look back at 2016 and say, wasn't our democracy awesome? We survived a despot. So our message of improved Medicare for all, a quality public education for all, we're going to solve climate change, and we're going to grow the economy for the lowest 20% on the income ladder. That's where we should be measuring ourselves. That message has resonated in every small town in Vermont. You know, I talk about the rural economy in rural Vermont and rural America. We just like we've got to take care of every marginalized community, regardless of their color, race, gender, and all that stuff. You know, we also got to take care of every one of our communities. No matter how small our communities are in the state, we've got to take care of them, and that includes keeping their schools and keeping their downtowns. That's right. So the reason this message has resonated, because it's the right message, and it's the just message. And every single person regardless of where you come from, has a right to a bright future. And that's, you know, and it doesn't matter if you've been in Vermont one day or 10 generations. So you heard Cameron talk about the big money in Vermont. You know, we have a lot of work to do, and I know we're going to do it because this is an incredible scrappy team. You know, this team is that I am working with and that I'm riding their shoulders is knows how to do it. And everybody, the volunteers, my family, everybody is making this happen. And even though the Republican Governors Association came and spent $3.1 million in the 2016 election, and they've already spent $1 million in this election to keep Phil Scott in office. So we got to double down, and we will double down. And I'm so honored with the volunteers we've had and the staff. You know, I've worked harder than I've ever worked in my life, but that's because my staff's working so hard, and I got to work harder than they do, and that's pretty hard. You're making it real tough for me. There's only 168 hours in a week, you know. So, you know, I also will tell you that I will not cower under any threat. And you know, we are receiving all these kind of nonsense that comes through. You know, so people lose their head in social media or something. But as Cameron read the note earlier, every day I get a note from somebody somewhere in the world talking about, and it brings me to tears because of the leadership that we are providing to the rest of the nation and the rest of the world is incredible. So that's the kind of thing that keeps me going every day. And I know that my team will not cower in any of these fears. We're going to move forward to bring Vermonters to a living wage, as well as improve Medicare for all, solve climate change, and make sure the economy grows to the top of the mountain. When I left Vermont Electric Co-op in March, it was a sad moment because we had built such a great leadership team, and we really loved each other dearly. What I will tell you is I'm so happy to be able to do that with this leadership team in such a short period of time. It's pretty amazing. And I want to recognize all those folks that are here today. People like Cameron, Aaron, Brenda, Celine, David, Logan, Will, Sam, Asher, Karen, Grace, and Lena. You all have been incredible. Oh yeah, I'm getting to my family. You don't need to worry about that, Kirsten. So, and I want to say, this is where I'm getting to the family part. I want to say, my spouse, Pat, who's back there, is incredible. And that support is amazing. And my children, I always brag about my children, Derek, Kirsten, and Jillian. Where's Jillian?
She's right here.
Jillian's in San Francisco. You know, I will tell you, when I broke the news to them that I was thinking of running for governor, it was a little bit of a surprise, to say the least. But they've been with me from day one, and I appreciate and love you so much for all the support you've provided. And I want to thank all of the volunteers, and especially those people who have come up to me and said, first of all, I want to tell you, I love criticism. You know, so people have come up to me and said, well, I don't think that was necessarily a good policy. I think of all the folks that are out there, we've got a lot of work to do, and I want to make sure we do the right thing. And the way you do that is have so many advice givers that I feel so honored to support, because that advice is what makes us strong. I'm riding on the shoulders of all those volunteers, advice givers, and donors, and I thank you so much for that. I want to thank Brenda Siegel, Ethan Sonneborn, and James Ehlers. I think we showed the rest of the country what good democracy looks like.
Yeah!
This is what democracy looks like. I was so impressed, and so were all the critics said, wow, you're all so nice to each other. Well, that's what democracy looks like. That's what good democracy looks like. So I reach out to the three of them to say, let's move forward together. Let's move forward together. And of course, we want to unseat Phil Scott. And we want to get the message out to Vermonters that Phil Scott is not doing us any favors in these areas that we all support. So we're going to redouble our efforts to get to November. It's going to take a lot of work to get to every town in Vermont, and it's going to take twice the amount of work to knock on every door in Vermont, because there's a lot of areas of Vermont that we don't have internet, so we have to knock on their door personally.
Not yet.
Not yet. Right. So we're gonna win in November, and we are going to win in November. I'm going to tell you why we're going to win in November. Because nothing is impossible when you're on the side of justice.